Welcome back. Now we'll have a look at organization and system of quality. Now, this is taking a view of the organization, the whole organization, and which parts of it contribute to or are involved in the management and production of quality. Now, one of the more interesting models of how value is created in an organization comes from Rumler and Braish. They wrote a book, Working in the White Space, I think it was called. Now it happened they revised it later and came out with this book, White Space Revisited. They were looking at business processes rather than quality management, but the same thing holds. Now, Rumler and Braish did their work in Motorola in 1984, which is when they first started out. Now, at that time, work in organizations tended to be a somewhat bureaucratic model where work was done in siloed divisions and work was simply passed from division to division. What Rumler and Braish found was that, in fact, a lot of work involved the coordination between these different divisions. So a lot of work was done in the white space between these actual divisions. And so that's why they called it working in the white space. They described what they found as processes and proceeded to map how the different parts of the organization contributed to getting the work done or contributed to value. Now, their model that they've reproduced a number of times is now shown there, and you can see that the value-producing model is that box in the middle, where it talks about management on two different levels, and the value production chain. The value production chain is just a sequence of actions or a sequence of processes that take whatever passes for raw material in this particular organization and finishes with finished product. Now that, to illustrate it, could be processing an insurance claim or taking an insurance application or a banking transaction. Whatever it is, whatever produces the value for the organization. The input may be the application, the output may be the settled claim. In our case, we're talking about software development, where the input really quite literally is a problem that someone wants solved, and the output is some sort of a solution to that problem, which is normally incorporates some element of information technology. Now, wrapped around this value creation model is on the top layer there you see the environment, which includes competitors, shareholders, the regulatory environment, the culture, both the organization culture and the national culture, all the things that affect how the work gets done. The inputs they put on the left there include such things as the capital and raw materials, resources, the HR resources, things like that. On the right we have the outputs, which are value. We also incorporate there the shareholders that put in capital and get a return on investment. Rumler and Braish came up with a general model of value production, which is down there on the bottom line. That is, I'm sorry, I can't read it from there and I can't reproduce it, but you can see the chain of it all there. Now, what all this means in terms of value production systems is that you have a hierarchy of systems. You have the strategic management system, and it encloses the tactical management system, which in turn encloses the value production system. So the value production system gets resources and directives from the tactical management system, and it reports back. So you get the feedback, the information to say whether things are working or not. And you also get the value produced and the emergent outcomes from that. That in turn, that tactical management system receives its resources from the strategic level and its goals from the strategic level as well. So you get the what you're supposed to achieve and the resources with which you can achieve it. Now, what all that means in quality management is a system within the organization. It is no different to anything else. It has to have the guidance, the goals from the strategic level of the organization and the resources to achieve those goals. It has to have the tactical management to interpret, to distribute those resources, allocate those resources to achieving those goals and to carry them out. So the quality management system is spread all through the organization at the different levels of it. It's not something added on. It's not the final step in the production line chain. It's an integral part of the organization, and this, I guess, is one of the main things, is that it has to be an integral part of the organization. And the question is, well, how do you put it in? Where does it fit? What does it all mean? So we'll explore that in a few lectures' time when we talk about ISO 9001, which has requirements for quality management systems. So I look forward to seeing you.